Hello everyone, my name is Ganesh Sanjay Miraskar. I am an assistant professor in Sri Siddheshwar Women's College of Engineering, Solapur at Civil Engineering Department. So today we are going to discuss about hydraulic engineering. So hydraulic engineering is a study of applications of fluid mechanics. So here we can see a movement of ship in the sea, the movement of aeroplane in the air, the movement of ship in the water, and in the cricket how bowler swings the ball, and here how water is stored in this tank. So these are the examples which are based on the principles of fluid mechanics. So what is fluid mechanics? So first of all, what is fluid? So the substances which can flow, all the liquids and gases, are nothing but the fluid. And what is mechanics? So study of forces and its effect on the body, that is nothing but the mechanics. And if this study is carried for the flexible bodies, that subject is strength of material. If that study is carried for the rigid bodies, that subject is applied mechanics or engineering mechanics. If that study is carried on the fluids, means for liquid and gases, that subject is known as fluid mechanics. Okay, so depending upon the movement of the fluid, if the fluid is at rest condition, means the velocity of fluid particles is equal to 0, that case is of fluid statics. Means we can see here a water is stored in this tank. This is the example of fluid statics. Similarly, if relative velocity of fluid particles is equal to 0, in that case is a case of rigid body motion. Means, for example, consider an example of a train. Okay, this train is moving with certain velocity, and two passengers sitting in the train are steady with respect to each other. Though the train is having some velocity, these two passengers are steady with respect to each other. This is the best example of, you can say, rigid body motion. So similarly, in this case, this vehicle is having some velocity, but here, as the particles are steady with respect to each other, so this is the case of rigid body motion in fluid mechanics. Similarly, if the fluid is in motion, that study is known as fluid dynamics. If motion is described by velocity, acceleration, time, displacement, that kind of study is fluid kinematics. So we know that matter is having three cases. So three states of matter is there: solid, liquid, and gases. Okay, solid is made up of number of several molecules which are closely packed with each other. So there is a huge intermolecular force of attraction between these two solid particles. Here in case of liquid, so as compared with the solid, number of molecules are less. They are, and the distance between two molecules is little bit larger than that of the solid. Here again, as far as gases are concerned, number of molecules are less as compared with liquid and solid, and the distance between two molecules is little bit larger as compared with liquid and solid. Hence we can say that solids are more dense than that of the liquid, liquids are more dense than that of the gas. So density is nothing but mass per unit volume. We know that after applying a heat to the solid will be get converted into the liquid. If we apply heat to the liquid will be converted into the gases. If we reduce heat from the gases, it will be converted into liquid, and if we reduce the heat from the liquids, the liquid will be converted into solid. So this process is known as melting, this is evaporation, this is known as condensation, and this is the solidification. Okay, if we apply a compressive force over here, right, to the gases, these molecules will come closer to get so that gases will be converted into the liquid. So this is the compressible type of forces. So as far as viscosity is concerned, this is the property of a fluid by virtue of which it resists its own flow. So we can see over here two examples. So this is the thicker or the viscous flow, uh, viscous type of a fluid, and this is the less viscous. What is viscosity? So basically, if a force is acting in the direction perpendicular to the surface, that kind of force is normal force, and stresses due to the normal force are known as normal stress. And if you consider any object, some kind of force is acting in this object, and if the deflection is in opposite direction, that kind of load or force is known as shear force, and stresses due to shear force are the shear stresses. So shear stresses are acting at the surface. So this is, let us consider this example. As liquid is made up of several layers, if we apply force over here, then there will be a resisting force at every junction, every joint of this layer, so that at the bottom there will be a zero velocity or minimum velocity, and at top there will be a maximum velocity. So viscous force is nothing but the resisting force which resist the velocity or the motion of the fluid layer. Okay, so this is the profile. Here at the bottom less velocity will be there, and at the top there will be a maximum velocity. Hence the viscosity is directly proportional to the du by dy, means the velocity gradient. Okay, and that proportionality constant mu is known as dynamic viscosity. If that dynamic viscosity is divided by density, that ratio is known as kinematic viscosity. Depending upon the density, if we consider two, here the liquid, if the object is having greater density than that of the liquid, so it will sink. If the object is having lighter density than that of the liquid, it will float. Next principle is surface tension. So here we can see there are three particles over here. If we observe particle A, there are number of molecules present surrounding the particle A, okay, such that A is having intermolecular force of attraction from all the sides. As far as particle B is concerned, there are less molecules present here, so that comparatively less molecular force of attraction will be there. And if we consider point C, okay, above point C there are no molecules, no water is present, so there is no force of attraction. So here a tensile type of force will be developed. So surface tension is nothing but a tensile force which is acting on the surface, such that surface behaves as a stretched membrane. Okay, the best example is the raindrops gets the spherical shape, because it is the property of fluid which, by virtue of which, it tries to minimize its surface area. So we know that for given volume, sphere is having less surface area. Again, the next property is cohesion and adhesion. If there are two particles of same object of same characteristics, then that force of attraction is known as cohesion, and force of attraction between two different objects of two different characteristics is known as adhesion. So depending upon that particular properties, so capillary rise or capillary fall, these phenomenon can be explained. So rising of liquid level in capillary tube, small tube, due to surface tension property is known as capillary rise. So what happens? So there is a force of attraction between glass molecules and water molecules, okay, that is known as adhesion. And there is a force of attraction between two particles of water, that is known as cohesion, right? If adhesion is greater than that of the cohesion, this concave meniscus will be formed. So as far as water and the glass, the surface is concave meniscus, and as far as mercury which is filled in the glass, there will be a formation of convex meniscus. Okay, so here we can say that if adhesion is stronger than that of the cohesion, concave meniscus will be formed. This is the capillary action. So rise and fall of this water level in the smaller tube, capillary tube. So here we can explain this. Due to formation of this surface, let us suppose this is the force which is acting at this surface, and here, as the direction of force is away from this point, there will be an upward force component of this force will be acting, F cos theta, which will pull or push the water upwards. Okay, similarly, for concave meniscus, convex meniscus also, the same phenomena will be considered. So again, mass density is nothing but the mass per unit volume. So different examples are there. For air, 1.2 kg per meter cube, so density is expressed in kg per meter cube. For water it is 1000, mercury it is 13600, steel 7850, wood 600. Likewise, specific weight is nothing but the weight of matter per unit volume, so it is expressed in Newton per meter cube. For air it is 11.77 Newton per meter cube. For water 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. So these are the examples. Again, specific volume is nothing but the volume occupied by unit mass of fluid, that is the reciprocal of mass density expressed in meter cube per kg. And specific gravity is nothing but the ratio of specific weight of fluid to specific weight of standard fluid at specified temperature, that is the pure water at 4 degrees centigrade. So for air it is 0.0012, water 1, and wood 0.6. The unit is no. Okay, so this, as this is the ratio, there is no unit. Okay, so after this completion of this discussion, I would like to ask some questions. The first question is, how can fish survive in frozen lake? Second question is, how does an aeroplane turn in the air? Third question is, how does a ship turn in the water? So students are supposed to find out the answers of this question and tell me the answer. So today we will stop over here in this session. Thank you very much.